I'm Patrick.
This is Will.
And I'm Chris. And we are Guys with Issues.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. I get to say that now. Tricky. I got to remember which one to do. And in today's issue, we are talking about the Crooked Man and an old familiar character as of this previous Monday named Hellboy.
Yep.
He's just an old pal now.
An old pal now.
But before we get into the discussion of witchcraft and wizardry, Patrick's going to talk to us about witchcraft and wizardry.
Right.
What, Patrick? Are you a witch now?
No.
He's a wizard, Harry.
I went on Saturday night. I went to Chicago and I watched the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Oh, the
in
play?
Theater. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. How was that?
The story was, it was all right. 2.5, 3 out of, 5 wands.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, nice.
But the effects and stuff that they were able to pull off on that stage was incredible. The Dementors were
they the best effect?
they were they were up there. But
because
then,
they were flying.
Right. So I'm going to spoil a little bit. There's a time turner involved in this story.
As there should be. Right.
Well, anytime they transversed time, they made the entire stage look like it was just like shaking and wobbling and everything. Timey-wimey stuff. It was very cool.
Nice.
They had wand fights where people flying around everywhere. They had flame jets going on in the stage. It was crazy.
And yet our number one Harry Potter fan in this room has not seen it.
No, I read about half the book, though.
Did you?
I got the script.
Yeah, I bought the script while I was there.
Oh, were they selling it?
Yeah. It's also a little different than the script.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. It's the way they played it in Chicago.
So did you read the script?
No.
Or at least part of it?
We read a certain spot to answer a question, and it was different.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
Like you specifically looked it up?
Yes.
Did the script have the answer that the play was missing?
No. It was just played different.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if they had to improv a little bit because someone forgot
possible.
their lines.
I don't know.
A lot of times the initial script is different anyway. It's probably her first release one that they did. Because then once they start rehearsing it and doing things, they'll change stuff. Yeah. Just like a movie. At least sometimes.
Anyway, yeah, it was good.
So what made the Dementors so interesting?
So they were floating around. They had all the Dementor noises, very loud.
What is that? Do they like screech?
Yeah, they have a high-pitched screech, and
I haven't seen the movies in a long time.
That's all right.
Kind of like a breathy howl too, I guess.
Right.
If it's the same as the movie.
But like in the movies and stuff, you see their robes, I guess. Like kind of floating. Yeah, they did that in the play.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm not positive how, but yeah, it was really neat.
Breathy Howl is my online screen name.
Oh my. That's all I'm going to say about that.
So they had magic fabric.
They had magic fabric.
Flew around. And they were people. They weren't props.
They were people.
Interesting.
Because they would reach out and they would grab people. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Pretty cool.
It was really cool.
And it was totally a random chance that you got to go.
Yep.
So.
Thank you, Christoph.
You got a letter?
Yeah, from Hogwarts.
Be like, you can come watch this movie, but you can't be a wizard.
Wow.
Technically, it was a text message from Christoph.
That's the way they send them now. In case you wondered.
Okay.
But yeah, that's super cool. I'm glad you got to do that. It sounds like it was well worth it.
Yeah.
And then you got home at like 2 a.m. or something, right?
2:30, yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That is a long drive.
And I was exhausted the next day and kind of tired the day after.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you were tired the day before that, too.
Yes.
So it's a miracle that you're here.
Correct.
And not just asleep in a pile on the floor.
Don't tempt me.
Don't tempt me, Frodo. Sorry, that's...
Different wizard.
Well, I'll give you a shot at this. Do you have anything to share?
I believe last week I talked about listening to Tress of the Emerald Sea,
You did?
and I finished it, and it was really awesome. It was basically like a retelling of not Pride and Prejudice, Princess Bride.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, man, stop saying that.
But yeah, you guys said like it's like a Cosmere novel.
I don't think that word means what he thinks it means.
No, I didn't. But no, I didn't have any. Like there wasn't a moment where it's like, oh, I don't know, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah,
what's
it's
happening.
a different one. I looked it up later, and it was not that one that people suggested knowing more about the Cosmere.
Which you guys said that, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what book the Cosmere is, and come to find out, it's like his MCU.
It is. All of
Basically.
his books are in the Cosmere.
Yeah, well, not all of them, because I looked it up, and any of his books that take place on Earth are not in the Cosmere. Just the
Which
ones,
are very few.
yeah. There's like some of his kids' books, and if you go to his website, it tells you exactly which of his books are.
Is it Yumi and the Nightmare Painter
Maybe.
or the Sunlit Man?
The Sunlit Man.
Yeah.
It's that one.
Yeah. I have all of them on my
I believe the Sunlit
device
Man
here.
is about, what's his name? Starts with an H.
Hoyd?
Hoyd. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Pretty sure.
Because he's the one who narrates the Tress of the Emerald Sea,
Yeah, so that's a Cosmere reference.
which I had to look up.
Hoyd is like a character that can traverse the Cosmere.
Because he's in Mistborn a couple of times.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the informant beggar that Kelsier talks to in the first one. And then he's not mentioned by name.
Well, they have those other Cosmere travelers, like the whole like Spec Ops team in the latter books.
Yeah, yeah.
It's literally a group of people where you're like, I'm pretty sure that's from that one planet that Way of Kings is from.
I didn't know you wrote books about ladders.
Yep. A whole planet of ladders.
Wow.
Yep.
I bet it's pretty easy to move up in the world on that planet.
Move up on the world.
Yeah.
Either way.
And then Tress of the Emerald Sea, there's a character that I'm pretty sure is actually a Khandra from Mistborn. Because it's like he takes other people's body parts and like he's almost immortal, but not actually. And just like from the things that he talks about and says, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this guy is one of those like things from, the Mistborn trilogy.
Sure.
Will's sharing fan theories on the podcast.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
He's our fan theory guy.
So it's old times.
Right.
But yeah, because of that, I started listening to more Brandon Sanderson. So I started the Stormlight Archive with
How are
the
you
Way of-
enjoying that?
So far, it's all right. It's narrated by Michael Kramer, who's really good. I've come to enjoy him as a narrator. And Kate Reading.
Yeah, they both do the Wheel of Time series.
And Kate Reading kind of sounds like an automated voice message system.
Isn't it Redding?
I don't know. It's not even her real name because I had to look it up.
It's a pseudonym.
Yeah, her name's actually Jennifer something.
Spoilers.
Jennifer something.
Jennifer something.
I mean,
No
it's
wonder
just
she uses a pseudonym.
I know, right?
People think that's it.
But yeah, she's kind of harder to listen to. Like,
I agree. But I also find the characters that she has to read. I do not find the one character, the main one, interesting.
The art
What's her
one?
name? Yes, the one that draws. She
I
who
just
draws
got to that
pictures.
part.
I don't
'cause she's
enjoy
got,
her
like,
story.
She's got like red hair and what
Doll. Man, it's been a long time since I read that. What's the guy's name? Dalmir. Anyway,
everybody has weird like high fantasy names.
his daughter, her sections are pretty good, but really the whole time you just want to go back to what's his face.
Kaladin.
Kaladin. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I just want to read Kaladin's stuff.
Right.
I could literally skip almost everything else.
Sure.
There's a Dalinar. That's his name.
Right, Dalinar.
His scenes are really good, too. And his daughters are pretty good.
Cool.
Also, the assassin dude. He has some cool scenes.
Yes.
The guy in the opening.
The guy in the prologue?
Yeah,
Yeah. The prologue was really cool.
it was. And, well, the prologue is a bunch of people out on, like, a hill with shard blades or something, isn't it? It's, like, really...
Oh, that's like the
It's the prologue to the prologue.
Right.
there's a prelude
Prelude to the prologue.
that's like 4,500 years before the prologue.
Yeah, and that's when you know that you're in for way too much writing. You just think, this could be pared down.
Yes.
It's excellent world building. There are some great characters, but there's too much. There's a lot that I would be like, no, just cut this out.
Especially because on Audible, it's a 45-hour listen.
I know, and it's not even the shortest book in the series.
I know, right?
So if you want a series that'll last you over 200 hours in 5 books, Wheel of Time doesn't even do that.
I think it's...
The first Wheel of Time book's like 20-some hours.
That's true.
I think technically there's 6, because I watched a video of...
No. Okay, there's going to be 10.
Well, because there's 1 and 2, and then there's 2.5, which is
Oh,
called like
you're
Dawn
counting.
Shard.
You're counting like novellas.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
don't
watched
count those.
I watched a video from Brandon Sanderson. He's like, okay, this is how I would read the Stormlight series. He's like, read 1 and 2, and then do like, I think it's called Dawn Shard, and then 3, and then whatever other one. There's like another novella, and there's 4, and then I think he says read Sunlight Man.
Maybe the 5th book has been announced. It's coming out at the end of this year, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then are you aware that the first 5 are like their own story arc, and then the
No,
next
I've not
5
looked
are
at
their
that.
own? Because there's 10 total. Will be.
I've
But-
not looked into it that deeply. I was gonna listen to the first one and then see how I feel.
I enjoyed the first one, and I tried to go into the second, and I never got more than a couple chapters into the second. But I'm going to try it again one day.
Cool.
It's just I don't know. I don't know if it's worth getting through all of those. It's a cool world, but I enjoy Mistborn way better. Like way more for me, personally. Cool.
But yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Nice. Quick wallet punch. I have 2 things to share.
Okay.
But first off, Will White's Kickstarter is live now. And Patrick and I already bought our books.
Yeah,
We
we
already
went to-
pledged.
I got a notification that it went up.
Yeah.
And I haven't checked it out
I
yet.
put my pledge in for the next 3.
Me too.
They're not even for me. They're for my beloved wife.
This is the last 3, right?
Nope.
Oh,
There's 3 more.
That's right.
Yep. You're going to spend $700 before it's all said and done
It's fine.
for 12 books. They're pretty nice books.
They are.
And that's still less than what Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight books cost.
Right. I still need to get those out of that box.
And also, the other thing I was going to share is that Batman's 85th anniversary is going on right now. And some theaters in the area, check your area, but some are showing some old school Batman stuff. The Michael Keaton 89 Batman's in theaters around here right now. The Val Kilmer Batman Forever's in theaters right now. And the Batman animated series Mask of the Phantasm is in theaters right now. I took my son and daughter to see it. And my daughter literally gasped and cried, "What?" when they revealed the villain, when the villain takes their mask off. She was completely taken aback by that reveal. It was amazing. And my son has picked up a phrase that he has verified is not appropriate, but he will go, "It's the freaking bat!"
Huh.
Because that's what one of the mobsters yells in the movie.
Yep.
And that's what he decided he's going to take from that.
Heck yeah.
He also thinks that Joker is very scary when his laugh is echoing in the movie theater.
Sure.
Mark Hamill, thank you.
He would not have liked those Dementors.
Oh, dude. No, of course not.
No.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to share, that I took my kids to see an amazing movie, and that Will White's Kickstarter is actually up now. I said I thought it came out in like November. No, it is now. Last week I was like, I think there's some time. Yeah, it was days. It was days. You had days.
Days.
To financially and emotionally prepare yourself.
I guess so. So, sorry everyone who probably won't buy those. But we have to be Will White adjacent as much as we can.
Right.
And now I guess we're becoming Brandon Sanderson adjacent, because we've talked about him numerous times.
Sure. I've also talked about the Wheel of Time, so.
Which is also Brandon Sanderson, technically.
Because he finished it.
But anyway, you guys have anything else you wanted to mention? You good?
Nope.
I'm good.
Cool. Will, are you hungry?
Always.
Are we gonna? Whose bag are we gonna pull? Do you want the snack I brought, or do you want a Lorena?
Let's do the one you brought it. It's been sitting over there for a couple weeks, so we probably should get to it before it turns. All right, he just handed me hot and spicy cuttlefish flavored crackers. Here we go.
I haven't tried them. I'm wondering if they're gonna be like those takoyaki or teppanyaki snacks.
Takoyaki?
Thank you. I couldn't remember what they were called.
Takoyaki?
I could not remember. The octopus balls.
Right.
He's trying. That is a thick gauge plastic, though. Or whatever it's made out of. It felt thick. That bag is thick. With the 2 C's.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was going to it's 2 C's thick.
Just like... Well, never mind.
Say it, Chris.
Finally got a hole in it. There you go. You got to take at least 2.
I'll take a handful. I ain't scared.
Well, he's hungry.
I can tell.
Oh, and while you guys get yours, I can
they
say...
smell like fried fish. Almost.
Yeah, they do. I forgot to mention...
These are tiny. They look like little tentacles. Cute little crackers.
Oh, that's what my mom called me when I was little.
Cute little cracker?
Yep.
Oh, that's sweet.
Speaking of my mom and seafood, we went to Noah's on Saturday. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, nice. What'd you eat?
I got the calamari fettuccine.
Hey,
Ooh.
that's great.
I loved it.
That's what you got. Wow.
We also tried their shrimp.
Shrimp.
Shrimp
on the Barbie.
What's the one with the red sauce?
Cocktail.
Yeah, that's the word I was trying to think of. And their cocktail sauce there is amazing. I don't know if you've ever had it.
I believe it.
It's
That's
probably
my line.
it's probably the best cocktail sauce I've ever tried. But anyway, let's try these cuttlefish crackers. I'm just getting like sweet chili kind of.
I taste the cuttlefish. It reminds me of
I do too.
of when you get like fried squid, when
Yeah.
you get calamari. Mm-hmm. It is sweet. I
It's
like
not
the
as
heat.
flavorful, but
No, but I taste it.
it's good.
I like that the heat kind of builds in the back of your throat. Mine did. You don't taste that?
I mean, a little bit. I'm also just getting the sweet and the heat.
I like those.
Me
These
too.
were purchased at the Asian market. I might take those with me.
Do it. You bought it.
Might as well. Make sure I get a picture before you do.
Yep. I try not to eat a lot of snacks. That's pretty good. Will,
Pretty good.
is it a good beer snack? Huh.
Can confirm good beer snack.
Can or can't?
Can.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's all right.
And for the rest of this podcast, you're just going to hear this random crunching sound every once in a while.
I really like these. This might be my favorite snack we've had, actually.
There you go.
I like these a lot. Little spicy, little sweet, little fishy. Mm-hmm. Yum.
Chris likes things when they're a little fishy.
I do. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Chris, for bringing the snack. And I will say that that's been sitting over there for a few recordings now, and I never looked. I made sure to stay away, so
Wow.
I legitimately had no idea what was sitting over there.
I also never looked.
To be fair, I only glanced at it when I grabbed the bag. I couldn't even remember what it was
There you go.
because my wife had purchased it and I knew nobody at my house was going to eat it except for me. So I was like, bringing it to the podcast.
Let's go. Yeah.
That'd be a good one to put out on the break room table like we see once in a while,
Yeah.
where it's and be adventurous and try. Ooh, I like the heat from that.
Yeah,
With the
it's
amount
good.
I ate, there's a little radiant heat in there now. I like that.
Well, the Asians do believe in spicy food.
Well, ish, because I will tell you that one of my favorite YouTube channels, if you haven't watched it, is called Japan Eats. They are phenomenal short videos where every episode is him either going into a convenience store and buying a food or buying a specific dish at a restaurant.
Right.
And one thing that he says is in Japan, Asia is huge. Asia has some hot food, like Thai food can get hot.
Yeah.
But Japanese food is generally not very spicy. Every time it advertises as spicy, he makes a joke about how like not spicy it is, like consistently every time.
So it's just like America, where it's like we announce like, oh, this is a spicy thing. Well, I should pull that back. If a main brand item says, oh, this is super spicy, then it's not. But
Generally.
you can go
And have real spicy
and
stuff.
have really
Yes.
spicy stuff.
But if it's a chain, other than the... Now, to be fair, it's not super spicy, but it is super delicious and spicy.
Right.
Patrick and I have decided you have to try a sandwich. Have you had the ghost pepper spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's?
Yes.
He's had it already. Drats, did you think it was delicious?
I thought it was delicious, but I'm like,
But it's
what-
fairly hot. At least the one I had was fairly hot for being a chain.
Well, you have to get the spicy version.
You have to request the spicy chicken patty with it. The
Really?
breaded chicken.
Yes.
It's not like obvious from what you're asking for that you
No.
want.
Because
No.
you're asking for the
Sauce, basically.
is what you're
And
asking
so you have to make
okay.
sure that they give you the spicy chicken with it.
Oh, have you guys tried? They have new ghost pepper chicken nuggets at Wendy's.
No, I have not.
Those are probably decent.
Those are
So,
they're a little spicy,
But they're delicious.
but they're just straight delicious.
That's
I'm
because
sure.
ghost pepper is so good.
yeah.
So good. But do we have an email?
We do not.
Oh, snap. Probably because the episode. Dang it. The issue hasn't released that he would have responded to yet
Right.
because we're on time
That's okay.
and we're caught up.
right.
No email segment.
No email segment.
Womp, womp. But that means there's a Roomba in the room.
Yes, there is.
And he's going to tell us the whole story because it was very short.
Even though, like on my computer, I'm like, yeah, this isn't all that long. But then I look at it on my phone, and I'm like, this feels a lot longer than what I wrote.
I love that stopped you cold. Like you.
Well, my headphones are pretty loud, so all I just hear is crunch, like really loud. Hellboy journeys to the hills of Appalachia, where he meets a man named Tom Farrell while investigating the strange illness of a local girl. Tom informs Hellboy that she appears to be bewitched by one of the other local girls named Cora Fisher. Hellboy and Tom go to Cora's home to confront her, only to find her skin lying in her bed. There, Tom tells Hellboy his story. When Tom was 15, he made a pact with the devil in the hills everyone calls the Crooked Man. While telling his story, Cora Fisher returns as a raccoon and crawls back inside her skin. She tells them about her husband and children dying and joining up with a coven of witches. At that moment, the leader of the coven, Effie Kolb, shows up riding an emaciated old horse. After trying to tempt Tom back into being a witch/wizard, whatever he was be called, she flies off, leaving him the horse. Tom takes the bridle off to discover it's actually his father. Tom says a brief goodbye to his father before he passes. Tom wants to bury his paw at the church and invites Hellboy to come along with him. Hellboy accepts the invite and journeys with him. On the way, they fight off the witches and their hellish creations until they have a final showdown against the devil while taking sanctuary at the church. Will Hellboy be able to stand against this devil and his coven of witches? Find out today on Guys with Issues.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da.
And that's basically what happens.
Basically what happens.
Basically what happens. So, we already talked about Hellboy, his origins, the creator, all the goodness, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I
So,
was there.
Patrick, what's your favorite scene?
Oof. Favorite scene?
What scene did you find most interesting?
I guess it was after Cora the witch exploded
Into bugs and frogs?
into bugs and frogs. And then when they went to the church, her soul was still there and hadn't been corrupted beyond Savior.
Yeah, ghost her was sitting in the pews
Correct.
that the blind preacher saw.
Yeah.
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 Only in the Appalachian Mountains
Blind
would you
preachers?
find blind preachers and witches.
I doubt that. Very much so.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
So, Will, what was your most interesting scene? Also known as favorite, depending.
I thought it was, for like a scary story, it was hilarious at the end when Hellboy kills the devil with a sanctified shovel.
Yes. I enjoyed that.
That was just like, honestly, it felt more like it came out of a Monty Python skit than like a comic book.
Sure. I can see that.
That was
Yeah.
my favorite scene, too.
No, the holy shovel?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think that's what I called it, too. I did. I said favorite scene, holy shovel. That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That's literally what I wrote down.
Awesome.
Yeah. Patrick, do you have any other interesting scenes?
I mean, I was a little shocked when they walked into the room and there was just skin laying on a bed.
Weird.
It was weird, and I was like, what the crap is going on?
How'd you feel when a raccoon crawled into it?
That was a little weirder.
And then it just like turned back into a,
Right, and
Like
inflated back
a
into
naked
a
lady.
naked lady.
yeah. Oh, I didn't mention this in the character thing, but usually the author is also the artist.
Yes. Yep. Mike Mignola.
Yeah, Mike Mignola. But in these like like standalone issues or storylines, he usually does have like a guest artist. At this time, it was like Richard Colbin.
Yeah, this had a different artist
Yeah.
attached to it, but if you've seen the majority of the Hellboy work, most of it is him, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's art. It was very suited to this kind of story. The Crooked Man is known to be like his appearance in this is one of the big driving factors of why people suggest it. It's so like macabre,
Oh yeah,
strangely fascinating.
Definitely is. I agree.
Will, did you have another scene?
I did.
That was an interesting factoid.
Yeah. At the very end, Tom puts the bridle that's cursed on to like the leader of the witch, the one who got him into it, Effie. And it turns her into a horse and paints on the side, "Beware, I'm a witch."
Well, he paints it because he goes, you know.
No,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant the bridal painted it.
No. He paints it,
It's fair.
and I'm like, that is like, because I read quite a few Hellboy stories when trying to decide like what to suggest, and very seldom do you actually get like a satisfying ending at the end of a Hellboy story.
Yeah, they're
Because it's made to make you think, and it kind of leaves it mostly open. Obviously, because it's a continuing story, but I kind of felt that was like a nice little like justice is served moment.
yeah,
Nice cherry on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a horse lady cherry,
I might be a little hungry.
not to be confused with like a centaur, though.
Right.
Not the same.
Right. So
Patrick.
I have a question. If you challenge a centaur to a horse race, how big of a horse does it need?
Wow.
Oh, we didn't do the jokes.
Okay.
Guess that's what he's going back to.
I had a. Are you going to try to ask me a joke?
No, I forgot about it again.
Okay, great. I like how everybody forgets about my sections.
I won't.
So
I technically don't even have a section.
yeah, you do. You start us off.
So what you're saying is I'm here to make sure it goes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, if you
I
weren't
don't-
here, Pat and I would just sit in this room for
Right.
an hour, just being like, why isn't this going yet?
Why is there no structure?
Anyway. Patrick,
So-
what other scene did you find interesting?
So anyway, I'm reading this and I'm just writing random thoughts down as I'm reading, and I wrote down what are witch balls,
yeah.
and then they told me, and I wish I never knew
Oh yeah, right.
because that was just
Yeah.
that's
As witchcraft should be.
right, disgusting.
Yes. Well,
Well,
do you have another interesting scene? Yeah, they had a whole recipe page for that.
I did like when the crooked man was trying to tempt the blind priest.
oh yeah, that was good.
He kept he dropped a bunch of gold in on him. He's like, here you go. You can have a whole new church. And then made him young again, gave him his eyes back, brought like a pretty lady back to life and was trying to tempt him, but he never yielded. And I do like that.
And because of that, he got to make the holy shovel
Yep.
Yep.
because he didn't break.
Right.
It's true. It's true. Even when he had zombies getting thrown at him.
Oh, yeah. He had all kinds of stuff going at him.
That line was funny when he was like, Lord, please take my eyesight back. I do not need to see any more of this. And then he did. He got old and he was like, thank you, Lord. It was,
That was pretty good, yeah.
but yeah. Patrick, do you have any other interesting scenes?
I just liked all the references to like what was happening in other parts of the world, like history, things like that, to kind of point you into where this is, timeline wise. I like how he just put that in there like naturally and everything else. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, because you could surmise from the guy having served in the Pacific Theater
Right.
that this was probably like maybe in the late 50s or something like that, maybe.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Something. Yeah, I agree. It was a good way to kind of, because he said he'd been gone for like 20 years, right? Something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if he joined the military during that time and stuff, it's like, okay, so this is probably like the mid 50s, maybe at the earliest, the early 60s.
Right.
But you're right. That was a good way to kind of set the stage as to what era this was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't have one about the comic itself, but at the very end of the comics, they had the Dark Horse fan mail, like the Hell mail. I thought that was kind of a cool way to interact with fans.
Yeah, all
back-
comic companies used to do that.
Yeah, back in the day, people would actually send physical mail places.
I was gonna say they do that with Squirrel Girl too.
Oh, do they?
Do they? That's
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, I read some of those. They were pretty endearing.
The IDW Ninja Turtles, the earlier issues have like a fan mailbag in the last few pages of the issue are always fan questions and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. I love when comics do that.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool.
I think it's something that's sadly lacking, which is the idea of actually connecting with their reader base.
Yeah, because
It's kind of weird that they don't do that at all now.
how cool would it be if you're a fan of a comic? And, well, nowadays you'd probably email them. But then you send them a message, ask them some questions, and then that shows up in the comic that you're reading. And then,
Yeah. No, for real. It's mailbag stuff used to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Heck, that's what one of the suggestions I said for us to call like our email because of that or something like that.
Right.
Back when we were first spitballing ideas.
right?
Did you have any others, Patrick?
Nope.
I didn't think so from your demeanor.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite character?
The priest.
He's on my list as well.
Oh, but he isn't his favorite character.
Well, he technically is, first on the list. Ooh, I went back and
I like
looked.
how he's a favorite list, not a favorite character.
Oh, yeah, we always do that now.
Well, I mean, we usually have a specific one, but then we throw out some like notable.
Right.
Yeah. But the thing about the priest, I went back and looked. I couldn't find his name. I don't think they ever say what his name is.
They either just say the Reverend or they might say Reverend so and so. Do they? Do you remember?
I can look it up.
I don't remember. It's not that
It's
important.
really
Patrick.
that important.
It's not.
I mean, they might say it at the beginning, but when you meet him, they're not like, "Oh, Reverend blah blah blah."
You
Because
can call him that if you want.
okay, his name is now
Reverend blah blah blah,
Reverend blah blah blah.
but not to be confused with blah blah blah.
No,
Okay,
completely
Yeah, we
different
wouldn't
person.
want to confuse that.
he was my favorite too.
Oh, cool.
He was kind of like a necessary crux of the story,
Oh yeah, because he's
like-
the one who made the holy shovel.
and like provided their shelter that they needed, and like encouraged their growth and
Yeah.
all of that. Yes. Patrick, did you have any other characters you wanted to mention?
I liked Hellboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says very little, just kind of walks along and
Yeah. Stoic.
yeah, just kind of there to help if he needs to.
Facilitate the story.
He's like, well, my name's on the book, so I got to be here. Will, who's another honorable mention that you
Hellboy.
Yeah.
Literally the two names on my list is just
nice.
the priest guy and Hellboy.
That's funny. Patrick, did you have anybody else?
Nope.
So you two had a two-person list.
Yeah, the exact same list.
Nice. Patrick, what was your least favorite scene?
I mean, I think it was the shock value of the picture of the skin laying on the bed.
Really?
Yes.
Just the grotesqueness of
Just
it?
I was like, what is this story?
Right away.
Right.
Yeah, that's early on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Will, what's your least favorite scene?
It's when it's kind of that emotional gut punch of finding when Tom takes the bridle off the old horse and it's like his dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's so sad. But
Reverend Watts.
Well, there you go. I don't know if they say that. Do they say it in it?
I don't know. I'm looking at the wiki.
Oh, you just looked it up.
No.
So he's got a name, whether they say it or not.
Right.
everybody's got a name.
My least favorite scene, I just wrote most everything else besides my favorite scene.
Yeah.
So I just said most of it.
Not a big fan of the 15-year-old getting seduced by a witch.
Yeah, or like the exploding people or the weird underground witches or,
Right.
witch balls.
So is it a horror thing that you're not a big fan of, or just that's like the subject matter?
Subject matter.
Not a big fan of witches.
Witchcraft.
I get it.
Specifically. Like horror, I like monster horror and like survival kind of stuff, or like even like zombies and things like that.
Okay.
I don't like anything that is occult or like that kind of spiritual horror.
Okay.
So,
Well, then
I just
Hellboy is definitely not for you because it's all that it is.
I know that's why I didn't pay to read it, because you can't read it for free.
Oh, yeah?
I found it for free.
I'm not the only pirate anymore.
No, I just Googled where can I read Hellboy online, and the first thing that came up was that.
I bought it on Kindle.
Oh, you bought it on Kindle?
Yeah.
Nice.
$9.
Yeah, he didn't want to infect his phone with all the viruses that ours probably did.
No, it was I got it for free on. Was it on Global Comics?
I've never heard of that.
It's like an app.
Sounds like
I
they have a
have-
worldwide presence.
I have, or is that the independent app? I have that one. It's
Yeah.
not on there. At least I checked. I have that as well.
Maybe it was on Comixology.
It wasn't on there either.
The Crooked Man.
Unless you bought it, right? You could
Correct.
purchase it there. So if you
Yeah,
bought
it was like
previously-
$8.99 or something.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe I bought it too. I don't know.
Anyway,
Because I tried to find it through the apps and services because I didn't want to go looking in the mucky areas of the internet.
sure.
But it was the first search result, so I clicked it to see what it was, and it was just there, open, ready to read. No joke.
Fun.
So whatever. It had the S for secure. I'm gonna pray.
You're fine. As long as you didn't download or open anything, you're fine. Or put in your,
I put no information in
then
on.
you're fine.
Weird tangent on internet security.
Oh, jeez.
Let's do it.
The company I work for, they kind of outsource a lot of their IT, and we signed up for like a new internet security, like cybersecurity, in like a teaching thing, right? So they send you emails every week about things you should watch out for, scams, and they want you to go on and take all these cybersecurity lessons.
I have to do that.
But when they send it to you, you have to click a link to get there. And I'm like, it's going to be a trick question because once you click it, it's going to be like, you shouldn't have clicked that because you never click a link in an email.
That's not true.
Not never.
You have to verify it's a
Seldom.
proper link.
Seldom click a link in an email.
Yeah.
If you mouse over it and it says it's from, some strange domain, you probably don't want to click on it.
Right. And now we keep getting all these phishing emails because it's like, I assume it's just them trying to get us to click stuff to see who's the problem.
It's possible.
Because it's like,
Dude, that would be that. Is that what you guys do?
We send out
Just-
phishing emails.
Do you? Mm-hmm. See if people click them.
Yeah.
Nice.
And as soon as I send out enough, I'm going to have to talk to some people.
yeah. Because we went through this whole thing. We're like, they're like, the HR/IT/accountant guy's like, yeah, we're going to up our security. And then all of a sudden, we're getting phishing emails like regularly. I'm like, this is
You failed.
fishy. Like, why do we up security and then start getting phishing
Right,
emails?
To go back to what you asked me a minute ago, like something's killing the children.
Yeah.
That type of story is more of the kind of horror I enjoy. It was just like the vulgarity and stuff that I didn't enjoy
Okay.
in it. So, but like that, like it being a monster and like things,
Okay.
those I find interesting.
All right. Cool.
Anyway, did you have a least favorite character
I mean,
besides the Crooked Man, or was it the Crooked?
so I have two, and I'll just say them both. It's the Crooked Man and the
Effie.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's my list, too.
Yeah, I figured.
I put Effie because
Effie is bad. I mean, the Crooked Man is
I mean he literally
Not
gets called the
as-
devil.
prominent of a character.
He is the the legitimate evil power that the witches
Right.
get their
He is,
stuff from.
But,
But like she's the one that's always like messing with stuff.
right.
That's what it seems like.
He's like the devil at the crossroads. She's the person that leads everyone to the crossroads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yep.
Anyway.
That was I like that it was like, yeah, you know what? There aren't a lot of choices. But they earn it.
They do.
So out of you want 5 witch balls? Holy shovels. 5 holy shovels.
Yeah, there we go.
I think I enjoyed this enough to recommend it. So 5.
Another 5.
Yeah.
Wow, you're on a 5 streak.
I am.
Pat surprisingly
3 weeks in a
likes
row.
horror.
Surprisingly, in comic books, I like horror.
You would not enjoy this as a film
Probably not.
because of the imagery and stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But, in comic books, I don't know. It's different.
That was like I enjoyed the first Hellboy, the original
Sure,
one.
I did too.
Because it's very like comic booky.
Right.
Did you watch the newest one that's like the remake that's very, very rated R?
I have not, no.
It's more like this.
Okay.
And the witch in it. Like there are times where it's not, and that tonally it is jarring, I think, at times.
All
Like
over
it
the
doesn't
place?
yeah. It has some issues. I feel like it could have been better.
So we could have it on the podcast.
Yeah, no. But anyway, Will,
I think I'd give it a 4.
a 4?
Yeah. I think Hellboy could have had more of a presence in the story at certain points.
He was minimal.
He was.
And then Tom just would not stop talking. He's like that yappy friend that just constantly was filling the page.
Well, somebody had to. Does Hellboy talk a lot in other comics?
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah,
Is he chatty?
He's got way weirder comebacks. And I wanted to read this other one called
The
Conqueror
Electric
Worm.
Boogaloo? Conqueror Worm?
Yeah, but like it didn't make a whole lot of sense if you didn't read like the Seeds of Destruction and the Waking Devil. So like it wasn't like
it was kind of like your Green Arrow thing that we read.
Yeah,
Where
like,
it didn't make a lot of sense
didn't
because
make
we
a-
didn't read what came first.
yeah. So I'm
Makes
like,
sense.
that's why I picked like this standalone.
Yeah.
So like,
Oh no, this was a good choice for what the reading assignment was.
Yeah, yeah,
it was
yeah.
good. I don't know. Did I like this the least out of everything we've read? I'll give it a 2. That's my lowest score.
There you go.
I think that's what I gave Umbrella, and Punisher Max maybe. I don't remember, but it's just the content. There are Hellboy stories I think I could enjoy, like the BRPD kind of stuff with Abe Sapien and stuff like that with him.
yeah.
I think some of that might be interesting, but the fact that he's directly tied into, like, if the theme is tied into something I don't really enjoy, I know I'm not gonna. It's not for me.
No, it's fair.
But the book's writing and the storytelling was very well done.
It was.
Objectively, I would probably score it more like you guys, but subjectively, because that's how I rate, it's lower.
Right.
So, but it is well crafted. It was a well crafted story. Just like last week, we're going to have you look in the description for what we're reading next week. We haven't this horror, possibly independent, possibly, unless one of you has one that you want to read next week. Do
would have to
either of
look
you
up
have
stuff.
one?
No, we'll have to look it up. Maybe
Okay.
Pat and I will talk and come up with
It's
one
up
together.
to the two of you.
Sure.
Yeah, you guys seem to have good ideas for these.
That you
So.
hate.
That's okay. I don't
I'm
mind.
just saying.
I like that. This is like
That's hilarious.
this is like one of your highest consistent streaks,
Uh-huh.
and this is by far my
Your
lowest.
Exactly.
You should strive to continue that. You
I know,
should
this is great.
intentionally be like, what would Chris hate?
What we need to find one he'd give a legit 1. Because I don't
So,
think we've had a 1 on this.
I thought about giving this like a 1.5. But it's hard to judge. So even if subjectively I don't enjoy something, like I've enjoyed Hellboy as a character before, and the preacher part was really interesting, and I felt it gave at least a slightly positive tone.
Right.
If that wouldn't have been there, I probably would have given it a 1 because it would have been so dark.
Sure.
But the craft of it, I can appreciate that, like, the artwork went really well with the story, and the story itself was written well. But I don't know, man. A 1, it would have to be all vulgarity and
We'll find
straight
it.
up horror murder. I don't know. I don't even know.
A hoarder.
It'd probably be like an actual pamphlet to the Satanic Church or something. Give it a 0. Not for me. not for me.
It's fair.
Worst comic book ever.
It's like the occult version of those illustrated Bible tracts that people.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, that was the worst.
That's hilarious.
So anyway, check the description and see what these guys came up with.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll surprise them and enjoy it.
maybe.
You don't know me.
I mean,
We're getting to know you.
we could make an educated guess. Whatever. Or as Deadpool puts it, an educated wish.
Yes.
Do you have an educated wish for us, Patrick?
No, but I am going to say I'm Patrick.
And I'll say I'm Will.
And I'm Chris, and we are Guys with Issues and Wishes.
Educated ones.
You can catch Guys with Issues anywhere you can find your favorite podcasts.
Or check out our website at guyswithissues.com where you can listen, find reading lists to follow along, and get to know us better.
Send us emails to longbox@guyswithissues.com and tell us your thoughts or send us suggestions on what we should read next. We would love to hear from our listener. We got to cancel all of our Marvel reading then because I canceled my subscription. You canceled your subscription. I got rid of Comixology. You read illegally, so you don't give a about any of that.
I did that one time.
I mean, you are the
Are you
villain.
saying you
It
wouldn't
makes
do it
sense.
again?
I would do it again. But so far, it's been one time.